Hello, and welcome back to Bears News Fan Report, where we dive headfirst into every twist, turn, and tantalizing rumor in the NFL world. Today, we've got a development that could reshape the Bears' receiving core, and it might just have. The entire NFC North buzzing with speculation. Late this afternoon, the Chicago Bears officially inked a one-year deal with former Notre Dame standout wide receiver Miles Boykin. Yes, you heard that right. The same Boykin who torched college defenses in South Bend now suits up in navy, orange, and white. But before you rush to pen Notre Dame West on your Bears bulletin board, let's unpack what this signing really means for the team, for the fans, and for Boykin himself. Picture this: a crisp South Bend autumn. Boykin hauling in 54 receptions for 803 yards and 8 touchdowns as a senior in 2018, emerging as the Fighting Irish's go-to playmaker. Fast forward 7 months later, and the Baltimore Ravens pluck him off the draft board. Yet, despite flashes of promise in Baltimore, Pittsburgh, New York, and Seattle, Boykin's NFL sojourn has felt more like an odyssey than a straight line trajectory. Could Chicago be the landing spot that finally unlocks his full potential? Some insiders are whispering that the Bears front office views Boykin as more than just a depth piece. With Allen Robinson's departure last year and Darnell Mooney still developing into a bona fide number one option, the receiving core is in flux. Is it possible that Boykin steps into a starting role by mid-season? Analysts are asking. And if he can recapture even a fraction of that 2018 magic, think 40 catches, 600 yards, and half a dozen touchdowns, this could be one of Ryan Poles' shrewdest low-risk, high-reward moves yet. Let's rewind to Boykin's rookie campaign, flashes of deep ball chemistry with Lamar Jackson, including that electrifying sideline toe tap in primetime that had Ravens fans on their feet. But despite those glimpses, consistency eluded him. Pittsburgh utilized him in a similar vertical role, but competition and scheme fit kept his targets sporadic. Giants fans remember his clutch fourth-quarter grabs, only to see safety net veterans claim the limelight when the stakes were highest. And in Seattle, a crowded receiving room and a rookie quarterback meant rotational snaps and more questions than answers. Here in Chicago, however, the stage is set differently. Justin Fields enters year 4 armed with added arm strength, improved pocket presence, and a revamped offensive scheme that prioritizes explosive plays downfield. Could Boykin become Fields' secret weapon on third downs, hauling in that back shoulder fade that turns a 3-and-out into a momentum-shifting touchdown? Some Bears faithful are wondering if this is the breakthrough connection the offense has been craving. Statistically, Boykin's career numbers, 200 yards and 7 touchdowns, over 4 seasons, might not leap off the page, but context matters. He's averaged 15 yards per reception when targeted more than 6 times in a game and boasts a catch rate north of 60% on contested throws. Could this track record be the blueprint for his Chicago renaissance? Fans are certainly hopeful, and a few savvy beat writers are already penciling him into the week. One lineup opposite Darnell Mooney. Let's consider the timeline. The Bears signed Boykin just days after minicamp wrapped up, indicating they wanted him in on the ground floor of summer workouts. Imagine Boykin lining up in one-on-one drills against Jaylon Johnson, refining his route tree under the watchful eye of veteran receivers coach Teddy Bruschi. Some insiders believe that this early integration was key. He needs every rep he can get to master Matt Eberflus's timing-based offenses, one source tells us. Beyond the X's and O's, there's a compelling personal narrative here. Boykin grew up in Tinley Park, a stone's throw from Soldier Field, and started Providence Catholic High in nearby New Lenox. This isn't just a return to the Midwest, it's a homecoming. Imagine the roar when he hauls in his first touchdown at home. Could that moment inject fresh energy into a Bears fan base desperate for highlight plays? Could Boykin's journey from local standout to NFL underdog to potential breakout star inspire a locker room hungry for confidence? Of course, skeptics will point to his injury history, a nagging ankle issue in college and a hamstring tweak during his stint in Seattle. Could durability concerns limit his snaps? And what if the connection with Fields never materializes the way everyone dreams? These are valid questions, but the Bears went to the ink well anyway, suggesting they've weighed the risks and see more upside than downside. As training camp approaches, keep an eye on Boykin's conditioning report and his chemistry with Fields in 7-on-7 sessions. Will he emerge as the secret weapon on 3rd and long? Could he seize the number 2 receiver mantle by Week 4? The speculation is electric, and that's exactly what makes this story so compelling. Next, we'll break down potential game scenarios, where Boykin could steal the spotlight, analyze the ripple effects on the depth chart, and explore how this signing fits into the Bears' long-term blueprint. But first, let us know. What are your expectations for Miles Boykin in Chicago? Are you buying the hype, or are you bracing for more what-ifs? Stay tuned, because the best chapters of this story are still unwritten. Now, before we dig deeper into the X's and O's, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to Bears News Fan Report so you never miss an update on Chicago's hottest storylines. As we pick up where we left off, let's imagine Week 3 against the Packers. It's a humid day at Soldier Field, the crowd buzzing with anticipation. Justin Fields drops back on 2nd and 10, scans the field, and spots Miles Boykin streaking down the right sideline. Could this be the moment Boykin cements his chemistry with Fields? Picture the ball arcing perfectly into his hands, his feet dancing inside the white line before he turns upfield for a 45-yard gain. If that connection happens even once early in the season, it could change the narrative around this Bears offense and inject lethal vertical juice into a group that desperately needs it. Some insiders suggest that head coach Matt Eberflus has been designing more choice routes in practice, patterns that allow the receiver to adjust his stem based on the safety's leverage. Could Boykin's ability to read coverage opens up those creative looks? Fans are wondering if we'll see a seam concept with Boykin running high-low against zone defenses, forcing linebackers into no-win decisions. If he consistently wins those matchups, this could be the spark that turns 3rd and long scenarios into explosive highlights. Looking at the depth chart, a strong training camp showing from Boykin could bump veteran Equanimeous St. Brown down a notch. Is it possible that Boykin leapfrogs into the number 2 receiver spot by mid-season? Some draft analysts believe that Boykin's length and catch radius give him an edge in contested catch situations, which frees up Darnell Mooney to run more underneath routes and screens. That dynamic duo could create mismatches all over the field, Mooney's quickness versus nickel corners, Boykin's size versus smaller safeties. Could this balanced threat be the key to unlocking an offense that struggled to sustain drives a year ago? Let's pivot to special teams. Remember, Boykin has returned kicks in college. Some early reports hint that the Bears might test him out in the return game. Imagine Boykin fielding a kickoff, accelerating through a seam, and turning on the Jets. Down the right sideline. Could that play electrify fans and swing momentum before the offense even takes the field? If he nails even one return of over 30 yards, suddenly the Bears' starting field position improves league-wide. And what about leadership? Boykin arrives in Chicago as a veteran of 4 NFL locker rooms. Some teammates are already praising his work ethic. He's the first guy in the building and the last guy out, one source says. Could that veteran presence rub off on the younger players? We all know building a culture starts with small habits. Showing up early, putting in the extra route running reps, diving on loose balls drills. If Boykin sets that tone, this signing could pay dividends beyond the stat sheet. Of course, the elephant in the room remains durability. Can he stay healthy through the grind of a 17-game season? The Bears' training staff will need to monitor his workload closely, perhaps limiting him in padded practices early on. But if he can avoid soft tissue injuries, and history tells. Ussie's had more misses than major injuries. He should be available when it counts. So, what do you think, Bears Kingdom? Are you ready to embrace Miles Boykin as the next homegrown hero in Chicago? Do you see the deep threat magic returning to Soldier Field? Or are you skeptical that this is just another what-if signing? I, for one, am excited to see those. Notre Dame roots flourish in navy and orange. I can't wait to read your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to Bears News Fan Report, and ring the notification bell, so you never miss our breakdowns, rumors, and exclusive Bears content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the next whistle.